Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much, Mike. Firstly, it's good to see you all here. It's an RSVP event because it's been like the first sort of supporters event. We didn't want any hecklers around, so it's good that you've all come along. And I just want to say thanks again to Mike. Mike's retiring from council. He's heading off to the open seas and finishing up. And it's a shame, but you know he's done many terms as a councillor, and he's been a mentor for me for the last 3 years, along with a couple others, the Embarker as well. And he's been, I guess, it's a shame we're losing him because we're losing sort of that wisdom, that experience. We've got a few councillors that are staying on that have that, but it's really important. It's one thing I've actually learned, that in council it's so important that you have a diversity of councillors, a diversity of ages, and also keep that connection and make sure that there's councillors that are there, that are still that have been there for a number of terms, because there's a lot of history and knowledge with them. So yeah, so thank you very much, Mike. It means a lot to have your support. So next page. Tonight's about you guys. It's about the supporters. So it's about thanking you for supporting me to date. And it's sort of about encouraging you to keep supporting, please. And it's about telling you what we're about, so you can go out and express it to the wider community. So it's a really important part of this. There's going to be a goodie bag with some information for you and some releases about what we've been doing. So I guess firstly, a guy that couldn't be here tonight is Ken Robertson. He gave me some advice about speeches. So make sure that the introduction to your speech is as close as possible to the end of your speech. So unfortunately, there's a bit of information to get through, but so bear with me. Because tonight I really want to stress how important it is that the city makes the right decision in early October. So I also want you, one other thing I want you to get from this is understand how passionate I am about this city being the very, very best it can be. You hear me at that? You all right? No. I mean, I first stood for council. We'll just go back to prior to 2007 or 2007. I first stood for council out of fear, believe it or not. Out of fear. I came back here in 2002, and it was fantastic. Young family, 2 kids, and it was great. You know, showing my wife and my son, you know, where I went to school. You know, Trafalgar Park, you know, it's the same seat that I sat in when I was a little kid, same for my 4-year-old. Trafalgar Centre, the same thing. Observatory Hill, you know, the telescope, all the rest of it. It was fantastic. You know, I was a lucky kid, all the stuff here, and I was showing my son, and it was a really nice feeling. But then in around 2004, we lost WOW, and my son started school, getting out in the community, and seen a lot more. I was thinking like, geez, maybe it's not that good. Trafalgar Park, that stand, it's exactly the same as when I was a kid. You know, the windows are broken, things are falling apart. Trafalgar Centre's not being used that much. I mean, the council had to concentrate on core services, getting the plumbing and all that. That's really good. But there seemed to be a little bit of like things hadn't been getting done, primarily around those sort of areas. And then in 2005, we won the rights to host Rugby World Cup in New Zealand. And I thought, jeepers, are we going to get that? Are we going to get that in Nelson? And so I guess I was fearful that if we missed out on Rugby World Cup, we were going to miss out on a great opportunity for our city to be as good as it could be and be how it was when I grew up. And so I stood for council. So I campaigned on 3 things. One was amalgamation, one was Trafalgar Park upgrade, and one was Rugby World Cup. Amalgamation was all about getting the systems right. It's one of the main reasons that I saw from the outside. Things do change a little bit when you're on the inside. You realise there's a lot of reasons why it happened. But from the outside, amalgamation was important because we weren't getting things done as a region. 2 councils had to agree on a lot of it, and we just simply weren't getting it done. The arterial road again was a big issue back then. And so I thought amalgamation, if we can set the foundations right for our region, one governance structure, we can actually start to do things. But we also needed the Rugby World Cup, so we needed a catalyst. We needed a catalyst to to give the region the belief, the self-belief that we can achieve things and we can succeed. So I thought there were two really important things that the region needed. We need to be one region, and we need to have a self-belief in ourselves that we can achieve. So Rugby World Cup and amalgamation are the two things. And we're on track. It's been 3 years into the making, together with council colleagues, like Mike pointed out, and Pete Rainey was a big help on the Rugby World Cup, that's for sure. And so together with colleagues, a team of about 100 retailers and 30 volunteers for the amalgamation process. To initiate the amalgamation process, there was a dedicated Rugby World Cup bid team. Now there's a Rugby World Cup steering group. You know, we're almost there. We're almost there. And I guess I've got to stress that, you know, we're almost there, because now I guess another reason why I'm running for mayor is that that same fear is there again. It's this job not completed. I mean, amalgamation still has some way to go, and we need, I guess, a strong leader that's going to like negotiate through this next year. Because this next year will be tricky. It won't be easy. There will be concerted efforts from other groups. And don't get me wrong, TDC, people in Tasman, there's a lot of support out there. Some I have to say there's possibly more support than there is in Nelson. And again, it's not that I'm saying that I'm for amalgamation. Personal belief is that I think there's a lot of advantages of it, but we need an independent person to weigh that up for us, show us the advantages and the disadvantages. So there's a lot of support out in Tasman, but there's also a lot of negativity out there as well. And I think the council needs to stand up and ensure, not that it's supporting it, the council needs to stand up and ensure that there's a fair process. There's a fair process and everybody like yourselves gets presented with the facts. And that's what it's all about. And sometimes it doesn't happen like that. So we need a strong leader that ensures that happens from Nelson. And we also need to make sure that we maximise the opportunities of Rugby World Cup. Because we just don't want to have 2 games of rugby in Nelson. And we just don't want to have a big party. They're great, they're going to be fantastic, but we want to do the most we can to maximise the opportunity. We want to leverage from this event, and we want to ensure that there's a legacy left behind for our kids and grandchildren from this. So that's why I'm standing again. So there's other important decisions coming up as well. There's an arterial study. We've got a fantastic waterfront here, and it's really important that we show the world. It could be the envy of the world, our waterfront. And it is to some degree. We've got a great natural environment. We've got that we sit in. The city's right there, the backdrop of the city. We could be the mountain bike capital of the Southern Hemisphere. There's a lot of opportunities for our town. I think we deserve to have a leading conference centre here in Nelson. How we do it's another question, and I'll go through that quickly with some of the policies and the strategies we have in place. And like Go Nelson, and we need to ensure that we have a multi-level economic development strategy. And that was a new policy paper that we just released today, which is critical. It's something that council probably hasn't done that well, help facilitate the links between business and council, and help businesses grow in our region, do that we can. And we've got to make sure we cement Nelson on the map. We've got to keep that position of, say, the top 5 cities in Nelson and New Zealand. And I don't think it's too ambitious. We should be right there after the main 4 centres. And we can be. We've got a great opportunity now around Rugby World Cup, and amalgamation will see our region working as one. And so everyone's asking how the campaign's going. It's going bloody good. My wife said I shouldn't say bloody good. I should say it's going very well. Sorry, honey. But it is. It's going really good. We've got a fantastic team here, and most of the team are walking around in badges. There's some other people got badges on as well, but the team's here. They've done a great job. So thank you guys for doing tonight, for putting on tonight, and I've got some goodie bags ready for you afterwards when you finish. So the campaign started with the listening campaign. We came out in January. We didn't have a launch party. This is sort of like a soft sort of launch party. But we came out in January with the listening campaign. We really wanted to engage outside our normal circles, the normal circles that I mix in, whether it be my social life or whether it be my council life. And geez, that was a real eye-opener. I don't know the official numbers, Trina's not here, but we were well in excess of 100 people have come through the doors. It started just on Friday mornings with 4 or 5 a day, then it extended to Thursdays, Wednesdays, and now it's sort of like any time, phone calls, emails, and it's been really good. Three key things really came through very strongly, and everyone's probably going to go, it's the same old letter writers, but it wasn't. What really surprised me was like the breadth and depth of the demographic that these messages came through. And it was all about rates being too high, and there's a lot of reason why rates are high, but we'll get more onto that more. But you know, people are on average have faced 30% rate increase, and it's hurting a lot of people. You know, it's not good times out there for a lot of people. The other second one was around transparency and accountability of council and process and systems, and the third one was ensuring core services are maintained. So this, I mean, I have my philosophy on where council is, and it does sort of fit in with these. I mean, these are the important areas about doing the business. And so my philosophy, I guess, is that, you know, councils, whenever they were first set up, they were set up to like have running water and sewerage, so that you know, that you could attract businesses and families to your regions. They come and live here and, you know, support the business community, get families and jobs into town. Most towns have that now, most cities have that now. It's not much of a point of difference. Sure, towns have it to varying degrees, but you need to, as a council, one of our key roles is attracting investment, attracting families, attracting business, and attracting jobs to our region. And that's something that